Hey pirates, Captain Cash here. I honestly wasn't too sure what I was going to do for my first Brigantine build. I was able to boost the ramming capabilities of the Bullhorn perk pretty easily, but then I felt like making a build that centered around the flooding damage that you get from the perk may be a little bit more effective. And then I remembered that there was another build I wanted to try out, one that focused on crew attack damage. This is something that I have 100% neglected to really use or even build towards or do anything to its full capacity, even though the Skull and Bones devs keep adding more and more items in to boost this every single season. So I bit down hard on the concept and found out that this is actually a very delicious way to torment your enemies while also keeping your ship nice and healthy and your crew wildly entertained. So today's build will not focus on the ship's main perk like our usual builds do. This one is going to be made for enhancing your crew's ability to make another ship's crew constantly tired and thoroughly vulnerable. And you'll be able to heal your ship's hull and severe damage with every single attack while you do it. Starting with our weapons. On our broadsides and on our stern, we will be using weapons that increase the charge rate of the vulnerable effect. This can be done with a set of weapons that are available to almost everyone in the game at this point. The Basilisk Culverins and the Zamzana Demicannons. I'm using the Basilisk 3 on port and starboard with the Zamzama 3 holding up our stern. With these cannons, I will be able to increase the buildup of the vulnerable effect by 50%. But what does that even mean? Well, you know how when you do a bit of damage on an enemy ship, you'll get that prompt to begin a crew attack? That happens every time you make a ship's crew vulnerable. This is something that you can actually control with the correct weapons, those weapons being the ones I just mentioned. And to complement this, our bow and auxiliary weapons will be using a little bit of help from our dear old friend Lepest. The La Picre 3, I believe that's how it's pronounced, the long guns that we have, and the Le Fleu, the poison long guns and poison mortars that we have. Both of these weapons have the ability to sap a crew's stamina, so by the time we attack the crew directly, they'll already be exhausted by the time we get there. Moving on to our furniture, this is where the bulk of our crew's power will come from. So number one, we have the Scrapper Station up first. This will give us 8,000 whole health after every crew attack. The Brigantine can only get a max of 4,500 whole health just on its own. And if you repair 8,000 of that, you're looking at almost 20% per crew attack. This is perfect to help you keep your health up while you focus on DPS. Number 2, next we have the Lamari Makinan 1, which will increase our crew stamina and our crew stamina recovery speed. There is a torn sales bonus that we get, but that's not really what's important here. Number 3, we have the Botswain Toll 1. This will give our crew a boost in attack damage and a buff to the charge rate of the crew attack, aka the vulnerable effect, with a nice small bonus to stamina restoration when we are not in combat. The Lestari trophy is number 4, and it will give your crew another attack boost and an increase in acceleration, and you'll get a little bit of a cargo capacity increase. Not too bad, that's pretty nice too. Number 5, a new addition that I believe that was added in just this season, the First Mate's Leisure. This thing is awesome. It will restore 15% of severe damage after a crew attack. It will also increase crew stamina recovery after a crew attack and increase the crew's ability range. Number 6, we have last the Botswain Call 1. This just adds yet another boost to the overall crew attack damage because that is what we are focusing on here with this build. Now, for armor, you have a couple of options. In the spirit of using a different armor, we are featuring the Rhapsody of the Deep. This will allow us to negate any flooding effects while bracing and give us a nice bit of protection from torpedoes if they are around. Not necessary, but nice. And you're getting some pretty good percentages here with your damage mitigation. Now, some of you more seasoned pirates may be considering the armor we use here quite a bit, and I do not blame you for thinking about the Ouroboros armor here. I use it all the time. It is great. It will also passively repair any severe damage that you take, which will pair nicely with the First Mate's Ledger. And it will take 15% of your brace damage and turn it into restored whole health, which will pair nice with the Scrapper Station. I highly recommend this, but as mentioned, in the spirit of variety, I went with the Rhapsody of the Deep, because, well, we used the Ouroboros quite a bit here. So now, I do want to point out as we wrap this up, I was going a little hard in today's video. You see me over here, I'm doing my best to take this on by myself. One other person did show up, but I was doing my best to try to take a lot of damage so you can see that it would survive what we were taking on. But you don't have to, take as much damage as I did. That was just for effect. But if you're in a crew or around a couple other ships, depending on how you play, this is going to be a godsend for them, because anybody who's not in your crew is going to be wondering, why the hell is this freaking crew attack thing happening almost every 5 seconds? Because keep in mind, the buildup is better when there's more people around. But as you saw with a lot of these, when I'm by myself, the buildup on it is quick. It's like, if not every volley, every other volley of cannon fire that I'm giving. And you do get the bonus health back when you board ships. That is considered a crew attack. So once you get to the end of a crew's health and you see that there's a chance to board, you may want to try to get into a habit of doing this more often. I actually kind of like it, because I really don't board for any other reason, because it's kind of, I don't want to say it's pointless. You get a couple of extra bits out of it, but in the grand scheme of things, it really isn't something that a lot of people do. Well, this will get you the focus on that. I mean, we are pirates, and it is hella piratey for you to board a ship, so have at it. But I really did like this. It worked out far better than I realized it was going to. Again, like I said at the top of the video, I have ignored crew attack everything up until this point, but no longer. This will be something I will try to add into my builds, and I'm hoping that the Brigantine that we get for next season, because I hardcore expect for us to get a remodeled Brigantine for the season 4 ship. I'm hoping this one might focus a little bit on that, or maybe torn sails build up, but we shall see. That is going to do it though. As always, I have been Captain Cash the Stampede. Hope you guys take it easy out there, and we'll see you on the seas.